To complete our day, it's time to check in on the results of today's Urban Innovation Workshop with the Town of Innisfil, Ontario. A reminder for those joining us for the first time, the Urban Innovation Workshop series invites the leaders of real innovative smart city projects which are in the planning phase. The Smart City Experience team recruits a group of experts who will offer their time to ideate, brainstorm, and provide valuable insights to the leaders currently working to transform their vision into a reality. I would like to invite Dan Taylor to join me on the virtual stage. Hello, Dan.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Good yourself. So, how was it?
You know what? First of all, thank you so much for asking us to participate. As I said before, we're talking about the Orbit, which is a new city development, and we had access to a universe today of smart city experts. So it was quite fantastic. Yeah, so I am not sure if my technology is working. I'm going to see if my screen comes up. Are you able to see my visual of a slide?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, great. Would you like me to do our summary?
Yes, please. The stage is now yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ravi. So our challenge is, how do you build a city and now a smart city with our involvement with the Smart City Network from scratch? So what you're seeing in front of you is actually tied into one of the themes today, which is to have a strategy and start with the end in mind. So what you're seeing right now, if you were to take away all those buildings, the reality is that's a farm field. And you're seeing the Orbit, which is a walkable, transit-oriented, medium density city that we're looking to build from scratch. The town of Innisfil is about just shy of an hour north of Toronto and just south of Barrie, to help situate it for folks. And what we found really interesting is, although we did have, as I said, a universe of smart city experts, technology and smart city technology, if you will, was kind of put as secondary. So the slide I'm showing you now is a 50-year to 100-year build out, going from a zero population in this area up to 50 or 80,000 people. And so basically what our experts all agreed upon is really what we are trying to build is a community and a place that has sense of place. And so, of course, we want technology, and we want technology for infrastructure. We want technology for like mundane tasks. So I'm gonna call it like to Uber your life, right? How do you make day-to-day transactions a lot easier using technology? But how do we connect people together? And how do we build a place that's got the human experience and a quality of place at the center? And so while we believe that smart city technologies can do that, that's really, I think, the strategy that we need to focus in on. And so imagine, this is going to be primarily a condo development. In the middle, you see a train station. So in Ontario, we have something called GO, Government of Ontario Transit. This transit goes up north to Barrie and beyond, and down south to Toronto, and then connects to east-west corridors. So we're looking at building a brand new community that is walkable, that is not car-centric, and that is transit-centric. Arguably, we're building a 15 to 20-minute city. That's really what we're looking for. And some of the core things that are at the center of that are sustainability. One that really came out was diversity. So Innisfil is not particularly diverse. There are pockets of diversity in our community right now. So as we're looking forward to build a community, how do we ensure that we're building socioeconomic, ethnic diversity into the community so that it's not uniform and it's not just sort of an isolated suburb, if you will. The interesting thing that came up, and I haven't really shared the structure, so my apologies. These lands that I'm showing you are 80+% owned by a single developer. And there's pros and cons to that. The pros are we're only dealing with one group from which to negotiate with. The other is, it's one group. So there's pros and cons to that. However, they're on board with our vision and our strategy, which is great. The one thing that did come up, understanding that it's a private developer and private developers, have a primary goal, and that is profit motive, is in one of the closing statements, one of our experts said, we really need to look at housing as housing versus a financial asset that becomes a financial commodity for financial transactions. So it's not that we have not been thinking about affordable housing and about housing that way, but I feel that that really honed in to something that's quite important for us. Finally, before I talk about next steps, one of the things where we think technology can work is using technology to connect to our current citizens, as well as human interface, public meetings when that's appropriate with COVID, and using technology to survey and get feedback from what people want in a new community and how do we build community. And in fact, building community, one of our other experts said, there are platforms, and I'm sure we've all been on them, where you can form trust and bonds with people quite quickly if the right environment is there. I'm going to go back one point and then I'm going to wrap up because I talked about trust. So part of the Smart City Initiative and part of where we're going is we will likely be some form of stewards of data. And governments, and you could argue the private sector, have not really succeeded that greatly in building the public trust on data. So that's quite a challenge that we're going to have to come up with. And we're going to have to figure out how to use data in a way that provides value to our citizens, is open and transparent, and also engages our citizens and bridges this gap between the current situation, which is lack of trust, and trust. So one of our experts suggested, and obviously it's a great, there's our train station, there's a public, so you can see underneath the train, there's a platform, an open space for performances, animating the space, the public to gather, enjoy a coffee, meet up with your friends, etc. I think we need to refer back to our good friend Simon Sinek and really define what our why is. I think we have a high level why, but I think we need to deliver the why. And then one of the experts said, how are we going to get there? So the question that I began with is, how do you build a city or a smart city from scratch? And then finally, how do you consult with new residents, new citizens, new community members that probably the majority of them don't exist right now? The population of Innisfil right now is 37,000, and we're looking to add 30, 50, 80,000 people to this community over time. So maybe that's also where technology and the smart city comes in. So I'm going to call that a bit of a wrap. Hopefully I've got rid of my screen, and hopefully I'm still there.
Thank you very much, Dan, for your presentation. And the team and myself, we would have loved to participate in the workshop. But we wanted to know, how did you enjoy the Urban Innovation Workshop experience?
You folks did a great job. It was very well organized. A couple of little glitches with technology, but more or less technology, I think, served us well. Wonderfully moderated, wonderfully organized, and I can't thank enough the experts that took time out of their schedules, brought a wonderful depth of experience, and also shared some fabulous knowledge. And quite frankly, speaking on behalf, hopefully, of my team, I believe they agree, is we got a lot out of it. We got a lot out of it.
Well, we're very happy to hear that, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.